Hey gang, Jim Hart back at you here from Hawthorne Law. Are you operating your business as an LLC? Did you form an LLC recently? And are you wondering whether or not you're handling everything properly now that you've started your LLC? Today's video, I'm going to share with you all the things that you need to do once you start your LLC to make sure you don't mess everything up with your business moving forward. Hey, my name is Jim Hart. I'm the founding attorney here at Hawthorne Law. We help online businesses and entrepreneurs to get their legal house in order so that they can focus on doing what they do best, and that's helping other people and building their business and building something that is truly magical and wonderful in the world that is going to really change lives. And today I'm here to talk with you about the things that you need to do after you have started your LLC to make sure that your business is protected moving forward. Now, most online entrepreneurs will start out as a sole proprietorship, and if you're not making any money and you don't have any clients, that's probably the best way to go, because God forbid, I don't want you going out there and spending any money forming an LLC if you don't have any money coming in yet. And that's a big question that people ask me about when I get on calls with people, is when to form that LLC. Should they do it? And I've talked to a number of people who are just not at that point in their business yet where they're ready to start an LLC. And that's fine, and not everyone is at that point. But what we want to talk about today is, if you've just formed that LLC and you're wondering, okay, now what do I need to do? This video is going to be for you. Alright, so there's a number of things that you need to do when you are starting out with a brand new business, with a brand new LLC. Probably the first thing you need to do is make sure that you have an operating agreement drafted. And that's something that you can do for yourself. You can find something online for free. We offer an operating agreement. You can check it out here. Or if you use my services to sign up for your own LLC, or if you did use my services to sign up for your own LLC, then you'll get an operating agreement through that service as well. But having an operating agreement in place is vital to making sure that if anything were to ever happen with your business, if you were to get sued, and I've talked to a lot of people who are in very high-risk businesses where it's very possible that they could get sued in their business, and you need to have a good operating agreement, because that is going to show that you're following the proper procedures, the proper legalities to make sure that your business can be protected, so that plaintiff's attorney that's trying to sue you can't come in and say, Judge, you know what, they don't even have an operating agreement, so clearly this is just a big, this is just them, and they formed an LLC, they formed some articles of incorporation, or excuse me, articles of organization, that's what they're called for LLCs, and they form that, and they really haven't done anything. They're not operating as an LLC. So disregard the LLC and let's get at those personal assets, shall we? Anyway, an operating agreement is going to help protect you from that. So you definitely want to make sure you get an operating agreement in place. Number 2, and again, this is something we do for you if you sign up through our service, but you need to apply for your EIN. To apply for an EIN, you need a tax ID number or social security number in existence right now. And there are services that will obtain an EIN number for you if you're a foreigner or if you're from out of the country and you do not have a social security number. There's ways to go about that. It takes a little bit more time. That's not something we offer right now, but I've thought about it in the future. But you need to get your EIN number for your business. This is vitally important because you need it before you can go to step number 3. And step number 3 is you need to go and open up a bank account for the LLC. So maybe you've been operating as a sole proprietorship up until now and you're switching to an LLC, and so you need to make sure you transfer all the funds and all the money from the bank account you've been using for your sole proprietorship, which hopefully is segregated against your personal bank account. That's very important to maintain that distinction between the two. Hopefully you've done that. But you transfer all the funds from your personal business account into the account for the LLC. But to do that, you need the social security number, which I just talked about. So open another bank account. That's very important. And you might want to open more than one. Check out my video on Profit First for entrepreneurs, and you might want to open 2 or 3 or 4. In my case, I've got, if I had to count, 1, probably got like 6 or 7 months. I'm not sure. I've got a lot because they all have a purpose, right? So do that. Number 4 thing you need to do is you need to apply or reapply if you've already got them as a sole proprietorship for your personal business license and permits. Now in some states and some municipalities you're going to apply for those on a personal level anyway. Like for me, for instance, I've talked about this before, as an attorney, I have to get what's called a privilege license in North Carolina. Well, specifically in Wake County or Cary, North Carolina, where I practice as an attorney, we need to have a privilege license, and that's something that I apply for. It's for me personally as a lawyer. So if I were to leave my firm and go join another firm, then I would take that privilege license with me to the new firm. It has nothing to do with my LLC. So, but in other cases, you need to have an actual license for the LLC. So make sure you apply for the proper things. Again, as part of the business formation package that we offer, we have an upgrade that you can get, which will basically, we will do a search in your local area for all the different business licenses and permits you need and prepare a report for you so you can go and apply for all those and make sure you've got everything you need for your business. All right, number 5. You need to make sure that you've got your contracts in place for your vendors and your clients or whoever you work with. And so if you had contracts in place previously for them with you personally, you need to just, that's pretty simple. You just change them all and substitute for your name the LLC name. And then making sure that when you sign those contracts, you sign it the proper way. You want to sign it as the LLC by your name as member of the or owner of the LLC, something like that, so that you make sure that every contract you enter into with either clients or vendors or service providers, whatever, that it's between that entity or person and your LLC as opposed to you personally. Now you may need to go back with old clients and old vendors and say, hey, I just formed an LLC, we need to redo our contract. That's possible. And in some cases that's not going to be a problem. Clearly with your clients, hopefully that's not a problem. If you've got clients that you're helping on an ongoing basis, then you just tell them, hey, we just formed this new LLC, we need to sign it. Or if you have a really good contract in place, it's going to say something like, this contract is going to extend to any future entities or whatever. Probably need a lawyer to help you do that. You want to make sure you've got all your contracts in place and in order with your business. Another thing you need to do when you're signing up for your LLC is you need to get a payroll provider. And so that's really important. I have a link to the payroll provider that I use up here. If you sign up through them, through that referral code, you're going to get a $200 gift card to Amazon after you run your first payroll. So that's a pretty sweet deal. So yeah, check that out. Any questions? Hit me up. Drop them below in the comments. And if you're looking for a checklist that goes over kind of everything that you need to do when forming your LLC, I'll put a link down there in the description below. I feel like I'm giving you too many things to do in this video, and I don't really want to do that. And if you missed my video on common mistakes that people make when forming their LLCs, there'll be a link up here and a link down below in the description. It's one of my most popular videos that I've got on the channel, and it's definitely one that you should check out if you're if you haven't already started an LLC and you're just trying to figure out what you need to do. There's a link to that, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.